So this is the way we do it. I know it looks kind of crazy. So what we do is first we're going to make like a column for each, they say solution, it's going to be for every type, okay? So we'll have always a type column, always an amount column. And then we'll call the other one I'll just call it, I'm making up the names of this column. I'm trying to make this the easiest way possible. I'll call that the combo. Whenever I combine my type and amount, I'm going to get equal to some kind of combination here. So let's see. Wait, I missed something. Let me change them to cost right here. Sorry, guys. So let's see. And this one really didn't have to have all these things, but I wanted to, I don't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it look better, but I think I made it look worse. Give me a second. I'm trying to like combine different things to make it the best thing it can be. I know it's weird, but because I'm trying to give you like a normal layout. Okay, that's about as good as I can get it. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is when you organize your stuff, sometimes you may have this type column, sometimes you might not. But this right here is the meat of the table. I just took like two templates I'm seeing the author used to help you organize your brain. And I said, okay, generally it's going to be the amount you have. Then you're going to have to think about, okay, is there like a concentration or cost? What's going to weight this thing when I'm mixing it or putting it together with my amount? That's what we'll put here. And then over here we'll say, how do these things relate? What do I get in the end? Let me show you what I mean. So we had the 50-cent pound per, well, I'll start with the 80 cents per pound where we had 20 pounds. That was what I put in my first category, okay? That's like the type is like me making notes to know what I'm putting in the column, okay? So this right here is really, really trivial. I'm just trying to show you what's up, okay? Okay. Because I'm going to go across the table and fill it in to show the relationship. You'll see. It's helping you organize your brain, kind of. So, amount. What's the amount of this first type I'm talking about here, type 1? I put it in parentheses. What's the amount? How many pounds? Okay, 20 pounds. What was the cost? Okay, 80 cents per pound. So when I combine this, what does that mean? In this case, we're talking about value for the combination. What's the value that I already have in my current bag? How do I get that? If I have a 20-pound bag that costs 80 cents a pound, how much do I have to pay for this bag? Okay. 0.80. And somebody tell me that number. I'm just going to go ahead and write it down so you can remember how we got it. Okay. Now let's do the same thing for the next bag we have. We don't know how many pounds, so we have question mark. Wait. Actually, I'll put the price first to be consistent. We have another bag that's 55 cents per pound, right? We don't know how many pounds we want, so let's organize these thoughts on the table in the next row. So for this type, let's fill in each category. What's the amount? Oh wait, we don't know, do we? So let's put X. X is the amount, or whatever letter floats your boat. So I'll say X. Okay. Cost. What's the cost of this one? Okay, 55 cents. And really, guys, when they fill it in, they don't usually put the units on there. I'm doing it just to remind you that normally you're just putting the number in there only to make it as clean as you can. Okay? So the value, when I combine these two, what's the value of my bag? You got it? because you're multiplying, right? A lot of times with these tables, that's what you do. You fill this in, and see how I put the equal sign here? That wasn't an accident. It's because a lot of times you're going to multiply these or do something with these two to get equal to whatever it is here on the right. Everybody okay so far? So we have 16 representing our first bag, and we have this representing our second bag. That's what we've done so far. We know we want a special mix, though, so there's actually another thing we're interested in. We're interested in, I don't know how many pounds. Does it tell us how many pounds of this should be mixed between bag? Okay, so we know there's going to be a mix, right? For the mix that we're going to make, do we know how many total pounds we're going to have? No, we could represent it though. How can I represent it on this table? What's the total pounds that my mixture will have if I know my first one's 20 and my second one's some unknown number? Not 20x. Well, let's see. If my new mixture were 5 pounds, how many pounds would I have altogether? 25, okay. If it were 4 pounds? 24? 20 plus 4? What am I doing with the 20 and the x to get it? Okay, so the mixture we have will be a combination of these two things being added, right? Everybody okay? So I'm representing all three types that we're talking about, all three bag types in this problem. So for the mix, I'll say, okay, that's 20 plus x. Now the cost, I know how much I want it to cost. How much did the problem tell me to make this cost? 75 cents a pound, okay. So what would the value of this bag have been? Go ahead, you're saying it right. You're close. What's the pattern? Let's see, the first one in the top. How do I get the 16? What do I do to those two numbers? Okay. What about the second row? The x and the 55 says, what do I do? Multiply it. What do you think I'm going to do with this row? Same thing, multiply. So 0.75 times this. And I better be careful to put parentheses around this, right? So I'm going to say 0.75 times 20 plus x. So what we've done so far is we've organized our thoughts for each type of bag. We've got the first bag going across the top, the second bag that we're going to mix in, and then we have our combination, our mixture bag on the bottom being represented using everything above it. Do you see that pattern? How I added down each one? So to get my relationship in this last column between all my stuff, because this is kind of where it's all coming together. Do you see it's like the equals section? What would I do with these numbers I have? Well, you're going to eventually break down parentheses, sure. But what I'm saying is, kind of, yeah. I want you to look at what you've collected over here and tell me how to put these pieces together to solve the problem. And somebody kind of already said it. Yeah, you add them. Just like with these, how you added going down, notice the pattern. It like naturally happens. If I go down this column, this piece plus this piece will equal this combination piece, this mixture. Good. So 16 plus 0.55x is equal to all this stuff. So I guess what you should note to yourself is there's some patterns in how we're going to set these things up. So I'm letting you write that. I'm going to write the patterns up here a little more clearly. Let's say we multiplied across. This was an equal thing. Going down, the pattern in this one was that we added. So then going across, we were multiplying, right? Going across, we multiplied. Okay. Do you guys see that? I mean, do you see the pattern, like once you put your thoughts in there, how you were calculating this final row and this main equation? You went down every row, 20 plus x is 20 plus x. And then the 80 and the 55 gave you the point. Well, no, so that's still filled in. If you had to add, if it had been missing, you would have added. And then for this one here, you said, okay, the relationship here is adding over on the left. Huh? Generally, the very bottom one, our result is going to be the equals. That's why, like, those two added to equal the stuff I put in blue. This was just already, like, predetermined. We couldn't do anything with that day. We just filled it in. But then this one over here, we again added the top two to get the result. And this will be very consistent for you with all the word problems in this section. I think you guys will be okay. Even though, I mean, I'll just tell you, it used to bug me, and just once you get the pattern of, like, filling it into the table, the rest of it is like, you just close your eyes and do it. It's the same process. Let's take a look at this now. Let's get x by itself. I heard somebody, I think Jennifer said to distribute. Let's do that. Let's get rid of the parentheses. What's 0.75 times 20? 1 point what? And then you have plus 0.75x. Wait a second. What have you done here? I'm not getting an x there. 0.75 times 20? Okay. Oh, and then plus 0.75x? Okay. I'm too trusting. I'm just like writing everything. X's are on different sides. So it's going to be the same. Which one you want to move? I always move the smaller one, I'm just saying, but you can move whichever one you want. I move smaller because I prefer to subtract. But, okay, so I'm going to take this thing over here. So the opposite of what I had there makes it a minus, right? So now we have 16 is equal to 1.5. Let's put our x's together. What do we have? Oh, okay, yes, I agree. And you can, I'll just put x. I won't put the o because we don't need it, but you can if you want. Okay, we still want x by itself. Let's get rid of that 1.5. So it's a positive 1.5. We're going to say minus to get it off there, since it was holding on just by an and statement. Remember the plus, we treat it like an and say is it positive or negative to tear off the piece. 16 minus 1.5, what do I get? 14 what? Equals 0.2x. I want x by itself, so I'm going to divide off the number attached because it was attached by multiply, and they're all multi or something. You can move the decimal one time on top as long as you also move it on bottom. Because that's the same thing as timesing by 10 on top and bottom. That's why it's legitimate. So you could have said 145 divided by 2 in your brain, and you get the same answer. Nice. Is that what it asked for? Did it just ask for x? Let's see, what was x? Oh, x was, I guess, the amount of the 55-cent type. See how we did it in the table? So this right here was the amount of 55-cent stuff. What were we using? Fertilizer.